I, in my life, have learned that you have to draw lines. You know, you really do, especially with people that you love, so that they can't respect boundaries that you don't have. If you don't have them, then they won't respect them. And so if you do it sooner than later, then I think it doesn't have to get to places where it's out of control. My life changed drastically after True Jackson MVP, for sure. It changed everything in a way that it can never go back. You know, in the simple terms of just dialing it back, what does it mean for something to be traumatizing is it shocks you. You know, that's what fame did to my family, and the popularity and the money and it just shocked us. It was a shock that I could make that much money. I think that was traumatizing. You know what I mean? And so I remember the first time that my dad used that word, you know, when we, you know, this is years later, and we started going to family therapy and just having therapy be a part of our dialogue. And my dad said, he said, what we went through out here, it was traumatizing. Fame is a traumatizing thing. And I was like, oh, you know what, you're right.
I want to talk about this one moment, and it's something that happened when you were a child.
Yeah.
A traumatic event that you said you didn't even realize.
When people think about molestation, we really often mainly just think about it from an adult to a child. We don't really think about child-on-child molestation, but it's something that exists, you know, and it's, you know, can happen usually in family because kids are left alone, or somebody they're not in the other room, or somebody has been exposed to something, or maybe somebody else had been touched by someone older or whatever. It becomes a thing. And so that's why I didn't know that I had been molested, because it wasn't an adult. It was not this sinister event. It was something that I felt was weird, and I felt violated, or that I was introduced to something that I shouldn't have been being introduced to. But I didn't know really how to place it. I just knew I had all these weird feelings and thoughts. Fast forward, you know, that period of my life, it went away, you know, nothing more happened, and I no longer was thinking about it. And then when I was 12, I was reading in a book about sexual abuse. And it started saying all these things about anxiety and, you know, hypersexualization and all of this stuff that I attributed to me. But really, it was because of what I had experienced. And then I read even more about, oh, child-on-child molestation. It is a thing. It's something that can happen, and what that framework is, and how it can have the same effects. And, you know, and I was careful of it because it wasn't about blaming that other child. You know what I mean? I wasn't trying to make that the conversation. The conversation, what I was trying to say is that we don't know sometimes what has happened to us, especially if it doesn't look the way that the world has told you it looks like. And I think it can come with situations like that, or even more severe stuff, where sometimes people don't even know they were raped, or don't know that they were sexually harassed, or don't know that what they're experiencing at work isn't okay, until you read about something and it's like, oh, wait a minute, I felt like that. Is that what happened to me? And so that was really, you know, what I was trying to just showcase, that sometimes we have trauma, or we have trauma that we don't even know we have. Even if you didn't go through what I've gone through, we all going through something. Early in my life, when love first came, I was really young, and I was trying to balance between being really young but also feeling quite mature, quite old. So I felt quite aged, and I was emotionally dealing with a lot. I probably should have been talking to somebody. I don't know that I was in the best place, but I was in a great successful position in my life. But I was about 15, you know, when I first fell in love. I was 15, he was 20. I think it grew me a lot. And again, I think it's another version of like not realizing what you've experienced or what you've been through and how it's affected you. I even think the way that I would look at what was appropriate and what wasn't appropriate was based off of that relationship. Because if I thought it was inappropriate, then I wouldn't have done it. You know what I mean? Or if I felt it was really, you know what I mean? But obviously, I should have been 15 dating no 20-year-old. There's nothing that really makes it right. You know what I'm saying? But at that young age, in my mind, I got a full-time job and I got all this stuff on my back, and can't nobody understand me unless it's a grown man. But he knew there was a lot of stuff that there's no damn way for me to understand at damn 15. It don't have nothing to do with me having a grown-up job, never really knowing I could work this hard. Cues the theme song. It had nothing to do with that. I wasn't mentally able to process and understand things that would have made that relationship appropriate. And I don't think I really realized that until I had an appropriate relationship where somebody gave me the space to even look at things for real. You know what I mean? It wasn't until I was a grown woman, real grown woman, 27, 28. And even then, we know we still got more time to grow then. I had finally experienced, I think, genuine love. Not that I didn't love that person, but I felt what it was like for someone to love me back and to actually give me respect, that I realized that relationship was wrong. Love. So when we met each other and we had fallen in love, it was very much so, this is the time. Not only is this the person, but this is the right time. And so yeah, it was a conscious decision. We, you know what I mean? We planned. It was us both saying, let's do this. We both want this, let's do this.
Things got really difficult with Darius and even more public when Usher entered the picture.
I get that people feel like celebrities all know each other, or they're thinking in their mind that, I mean, ultimately I was doing what I do as an entertainer, as I was creating a fun moment. You know, that's what he does with every entertainer that comes to his show. How it became a genuine storyline of that me and Usher are in love, or me and Usher have something going on. You know, I don't know how it got there. But usually, as we all know, things are never really what they seem.
Seeing what Darius posted, what was your reaction?
I was speechless because I was at a photo shoot. And everybody was looking all weird. I was like, are y'all good? And then I randomly was on my phone and I saw a Shade Room post of the comment, and I was honestly just shocked. That was all. I was just like, okay. And then it continued, and then I didn't have no words. And it's not reality. I didn't want to engage with something that wasn't reality. So I kind of just became removed, and then it got so out of control, and the only way that you know how to bring order or control to something is the court. I mean, that's literally what it's there for. It's, you know what I mean? And it becomes difficult because I can't control all the information. This is not for the public. This is for me to bring order within my family, the only way that I know how, which is through the court, not through the public, but the public's still gonna somehow know. And so that was difficult. Because I was not looking to make a scene, I guess is the thing. You know, I wasn't looking to make a scene. I was just looking to bring order to something. You know what I mean? Bring balance, okay? The best way that I could. I feel clear and certain. Before, the unsafety was the feeling of uncertainty. No structure, no grounding, no balance. Everything was. And it was a lot of stuff. It was humanity, it was my pregnancy, and it was just everything. And so now I feel clear. Things are clear, everything on every level. There's security. And so, yeah, I feel very at ease now, knowing that things make sense and they're under control, and that, you know, there's a calm.